Scott Parker has just been sacked by Bournemouth. Let me explain. First of all, I want to say I'm a Bournemouth fan, so I would like to think that my opinion holds some value. Obviously, I'm not going to speak for every Bournemouth fan, as there are a few that are disappointed at a sacking, but the majority are happy. Anyway, let's get into it. My first point is the sacking has nothing to do with the recent results. Obviously, if you look on the face of results, he's not done too bad. Take away the goal difference, 1 win from 4 games, and 3 of those games that you lost against I would argue, the 3 best sides in the league, at least 3 of the best 5 in the league. So it has nothing to do with results, and if you read the statement, it says it's nothing to do with results. And on the topic of the statement, you can clearly see that there's a disagreement between the club board and the manager, obviously with the finances, and Scott Parker feeling like he's not got enough players, which is fair enough, but why has he signed a 3-year deal if he knows he's not going to get short-term signings? He's going to get ones that are long-term, stuff like that. I'll get into that in a minute. Me personally, I am relieved he's gone, and I completely support the board in this situation. It's very rare you get a situation like this where the fans actually support the board. For me, Scott Parker, well, yes, he's obviously not been backed, but we don't have the money that Forest do, and we've just invested 50 million into a training ground, whereas Fulham, as far as I know, they haven't invested 50 million into a new training ground yet, so that's why they've spent more than us, and also because our owner, Maxim Denman, is already putting enough money as it is. I believe this has been brewing for months now, and I believe the promotion results have just been a smokescreen to the bubbling problems under the surface. Post-November, his form was dropping off a bit, but because he got second, because he got promotion, everyone sort of disregarded that, and now it's come to surface more. Parker's repeated comments aimed at the board and the players, it all started in pre-season. Look, I can understand maybe once if you say, yeah, look, we're trying to get more bodies in, we're trying to get more players in, but if you keep saying it and you keep saying, oh, it's multiple different reasons, you know, I want this, I want that, it gets quite moany. And he's belittled the players so much. The players who have died to get in promotion, he's the one saying, oh, they're not good enough, they're not this, they're not that. And it's just, he's not even giving it a go, that's the main thing. And obviously all of these comments, it just created unneeded unrest in the Bournemouth camp from top to bottom. And as I mentioned earlier, the club has mentioned many times, and in its actions, has said it will not forfeit sustainability for short-term benefits. As you can see by us signing Marcos Senesi, 25 years old, Argentine international, he's someone you can resell on. And multiple other signings like Marcus Tavernier. Again, he signed a 3-year contract, he knew what the plan was, so to be running his mouth about the board, about how he's not been backed, especially when, since he's joined in 2021, he's had £35 million spent, plus the club investing in other projects outside of the squad. And this new training ground I mentioned, this isn't like it just appeared out of the blue. The plan for a new training ground was put into action in 2019, but obviously the pandemic happened, they had to halt it, but they've restarted this season, so it would have been outlined in the 3-year plan that he was given, that he signed, that he agreed to, that they wouldn't have had loads of money as much as Forest, as much as Fulham, because of other long-term projects. And Parker is a short-term manager. Right, to bring it back to the end, right, let's go through my points again, just to shorten it down, summarise it all up. First of all, it has nothing to do with results. There's been a clear disagreement between the club and the manager. Parker's repeated comments aimed at the board and the players shows that he's trying to avoid responsibility at all. The club had a very strong statement against it, saying we need to respect one another. Completely agree with that. He knew the plan, that we were not going to spend loads of money. Whether you think that's right or wrong, that was the plan. He can't be mad at that. He knew, and if he didn't agree with it, he should have just walked at the end of the season, or before the season started. And finally, most of the I'm not going to speak for every Bournemouth fan, because I'm not every Bournemouth fan, but me personally, I am over the moon. I hope we get someone like Deitch. I know a guy from Bodo Glimt is also linked. I don't mind, as long as they just give it their best go. I've accepted if we went down, alright? I understand we're going to go down, but I want to at least give it a try. We didn't do that under Parker, that's the thing. Anyway, thank you for watching, click on these 2 videos here, and subscribe here. Good night.